What's up, guys? Right here in the Olympia Coaching Studio, and talk a little bit about squat depth. What's the point of getting into a squat, and why or how can you sit in a squat like this? Okay, so first of all, what are the limiting factors that allow you to get into a squat like this? Mainly, it's your ankle mobility and your hip mobility, okay? Those two things. And usually you see that ankle mobility is sort of the prime indicator. If your ankles are stiff, you just can't squat that low because you have to be able to push that knee forward without the heel coming off the floor. So, quick test for that. Can you actually get your knee to cross where the level of your ankle goes when you're doing this test? So we do that in every single movement test that we do. Then, quick thing is like, man, can you be here? And can you push your hip forward? Are you feeling super stiff in this range of motion? Really easy thing. If you feel like you're tight in your adductors here, then it's going to be really tough. You're going to feel like your knees are getting pulled in as you squat down. So there's some easy things that you can do to try to loosen these things up to allow yourself to squat. And after that, you really just got to practice the pattern, the coordination to be able to sit down this deep. 1, you got to stretch the adductors. 2, you got to stretch the ankles. And then 3, you got to stretch the hip flexors. Okay, surprisingly, if your hip flexors are tight, it's just hard to sit down into that position. So, spending some time squeezing your butt and pushing that hip forward while also pulling your abs down, pulling your rib cage down simultaneously, you're going to create this little pelvic tilt that's going to really stretch the inside of your thigh. If you want to add some intensity to this, do it against the wall and keep that foot against the wall. You're going to get an intense quad stretch and that vastus medialis, that rectus femoris. Okay, so it's going to be a big time stretch on those hip flexors in that quad. It's going to stretch all the way into the pelvis as well. Now, for the ankle, some simple stretches you can do is from a lunge, is you can just be sitting here and pushing that ankle or that knee forward as far as you can without the heel coming off the floor. Okay, pushing that forward, holding it for 10 seconds at a time and coming back, and then pushing it forward. Keeping a weight on top can also be something that helps you add a little bit of resistance there to help you get into that position. And you can also do this on top of a bench or a couch and actually pull yourself down into that stretch to get a little bit more of intensity or load into that Achilles here, so it gets you a little further. Then the last one is you can actually hold a plate, but I'll just demonstrate body weight for you. You just add a little twist. You're going to lean and get into this position. This might be the last thing you're able to do because it's hard to even sit into a squat, but leaning into this and getting a little bit of a twist, practicing being in this position. If you can get to a point where you can be active in this position, pushing those knees out, and comfortably sitting in the bottom for up to 10 minutes, whether that's even off and on. If you can sit in this position and be actively in good posture without totally crashing down, then your squat is really developing well, and you're going to be able to do so many different squat variations with a lot of ease, and really it just comes down to strength from there. And when is squat depth super important? Man, if you want to be functional, if you want to be able to get up off the floor, and if you want to do any kind of barbell movements like Olympic lifting or anything, you have to be able to get into that bottom of the squat. Being able to squat all the way down to the bottom and squat all the way back up is a great range of motion that translates into functionality at old age, athleticism, and prevention of injury. So, take these tips with you today. I hope this benefits you for the rest of the day. Get better in that squat position.